And we are back with the third segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this third segment, we are going to be talking about the Lakers, more specifically LeBron James and his expectations going into next season. Now, whoops, wrong picture. There we go. So, as you guys know, LeBron James and the Lakers, they haven't really been all that in the previous season. Since winning the title, there was sort of an expectation that they would be more competitive as the years progressed, but it's sort of been the opposite. Now it's a really big question on whether or not they're even going to make the playoffs, if they're even going to make the play-in, and sort of where they stand. They still sort of have no idea, and the expectations on this team is going to be very high, especially when you have somebody like LeBron James on your team. However, LeBron isn't really sold on the expectations. And what I mean by that, so LeBron James, at least according to this article on Bleacher Report, says that he feels it's unfair to put any expectations on the team as it begins a new year under a new coach, which is a little bit concerning in my opinion, because I feel like if you're a team that has a prime LeBron, yes, LeBron is still in his prime. It doesn't matter what any of you guys think. LeBron is still playing the best basketball that he's played. He's even said that ever since the Olympics, he feels like there's more in the tank. And even after the Olympics, if you really think that he's still not in his prime, there might be something wrong. In my opinion, again, like that's my opinion. But based off of how he played in those Olympics, how he performed in the clutch, how he answered the call when everyone on the team asked him to answer that call. He was him. And he's proven that he has a lot left in the tank. So if you're not a contending team, or if you're not aspiring to be a contending team with a prime LeBron, you are failing LeBron and the rest of the season. And the fact that LeBron himself doesn't have any expectations, I think it's some really, really bad news for the Lakers. He continues going on saying, I don't have any expectations, and that's unfair to put any expectations on us right now. The only thing that we can count on each other is how we come to practice and come to work every day. Again, this is very, very concerning, because if you are... I understand where LeBron is coming from, going into a new coach that has zero NBA coaching experience, zero coaching experience altogether, like professional coaching experience. It's putting expectations on a team with a new coach ideally would make sense. Like low expectations, that would make sense. But you have a prime LeBron with a solid second option with Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, you have to be in competing mode. You have to have you're going to be in the playoffs, you're going to compete, you're going to make the finals in your mentality. It makes sense that he didn't really say that given the previous seasons that they've had and the overall roster with the Lakers, but still, you have to find a way to make that work. I'm sorry to say this, but it has to happen. When you have a prime LeBron, it has to happen. So I'm very, very concerned for this season with the Lakers. If these are LeBron's expectations, if he doesn't have any expectations for this season, how is he going to go into this season? I mean, obviously he's going to try to win every game, but still, what comes after that? I mean, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I mean, if you guys have any expectations for the Lakers, because quite frankly, I feel like this Lakers team, while it did not change at all over the offseason, the new coaching could end up bringing a new spark to this team. Again, they still have a prime LeBron. So if you have a prime LeBron, I think anything is possible. I mean, there have been several times where I was concerned on whether or not LeBron would actually win this series or win that series or even make it to the finals. And time after time after time, I had been proven wrong. So I never really bet against LeBron, especially when it comes to the postseason, considering how he has the most experience out of anyone in the entire NBA in the postseason. The problem is his teammates. And still, he's proven that he can carry the load. Granted, it might not be easy now, considering, age, but he does say he has a lot left in the tank, so we have no idea. And the article continues, now the Lakers need to worry about themselves and figuring out who they want to be, as Reddick gathered the team for dinner in Beverly Hills that in essence served to lay the groundwork for the season. And per Max Christie, Per Mick, let me see how to pronounce this name, Mick McNanum, forgive me if I completely messed up that last name. It was kind of a first time that we all really got together as a team in one setting. That's what the Lakers guard Max Christie said, according to Mick McNaman. Forgive me if I messed up that last name. JJ and the staff had a big presentation for us about kind of like team values, ground rules, so we can kind of wrap everybody around an identity that we want to have a team, so we're one coherent unit. And teams and players have more than enough to be concerned about internally and don't necessarily need to worry about outside noise, which is what they're going to face a lot since they are Los Angeles and they are the Lakers. And in regards to the James, in regards to the quote from LeBron, Mick Manaman, forgive me if I mess up that last name again, put some more context on it, saying LeBron did his best to shield his team from any premature pressures that could come with optimism surrounding Redick's addition. After all, it stands to reason that with how effective James and Anthony Davis looked at the Olympics, the Lakers returning a core roster that made it to the conference finals 2 seasons ago and adding a new coach, they could be considered contenders, but that label could only magnify any early season growing pains the team could experience. So what he's trying to say is essentially that LeBron said this to try and minimize the expectations from the Lakers, and if you don't have that many eyes on you, then there's less pressure on a lot of the players to perform. So if this is what LeBron was going for, then sure, like I can agree with this quote and I can agree with why he said that. But if there is genuinely no expectations for this Lakers team coming from your best player, I think that just spells bad news. And it's not like obviously the Lakers are not perfect with LeBron. I mean, they have several problems with the roster that I'm going to address in the next segment. But again, it all falls down to, at least in my opinion, it all falls down to just how far LeBron can take you, how far Anthony Davis can take you, and as well as how the team responds with that. Because that's really a big problem, in my opinion, with a lot of these postseason performances. They do get a lot out of LeBron and Anthony Davis, but everyone else is sort of mediocre or less than mediocre. In fact, D'Lo was horrible in the postseason last year, and that was a big reason why the Denver Nuggets ended up coming back in like a lot of the games that felt like the Lakers had it in the bag. But another argument could be said that, I mean, the Nuggets, whenever you put a Lakers jersey in front of them, they just turn into completely different animals. I don't know what it is. Again, if you want me to do a whole segment on Jamal Murray and his shooting efficiency against the Lakers, I can totally do that, because it's so apparent that it's like, I don't know what it is, but you put a Lakers jersey in front of Jamal Murray or Jokic, and they make some of the craziest shots that you will ever see on the planet. And the true shooting percentage from not just Jamal Murray, but the entire team increases by almost 10% when they go up against the Lakers, which is just a ridiculous stat to think about. But again, I can do a whole segment on Jamal Murray and his postseason performance and just how much better he is against the Lakers than compared to every other team. And it's really like, it's a really bad situation that the Lakers find themselves in. And I'm going to continue that on the fourth segment, where JJ Redick had some things to say about the Lakers and the rotation. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about that after this short break and exactly the big problem that the Lakers might have going into this next season. So stay tuned if you guys are interested.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.